Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the promotion ceremony in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Katie and CW4 Jayson Slingerland. The host for today's ceremony is Major General Michael C. McCurry, Chief of Staff, Army Futures Command. Joining us from the Aviation Center of Excellence Command Team are Major General Claire A. Gill, the Commanding General, Mr. Robert Doerr, Deputy to the Commanding General, Brigadier General Ken Cole, Deputy Commanding General, CW5 Michael Corsaro, Aviation Branch Command Chief Warrant Officer, Command Sergeant Major Kirk Coley, Aviation Branch Command Sergeant Major Chris Doss, Command Sergeant Major for U.S. Army Aviation and Missile Command. Distinguished guests today include Jayson and Katie's son, Jace, Katie's parents, Katie's parents' father, Mr. Michael Morris, and her mother, Mrs. Cindy Morris. Jason's parents, Mr. Jay Slingerland, and the saint that is his mother, Mrs. Debbie Slingerland. Jason's grandmother, Mrs. Virginia Falabella. Jason's brother, Mr. Jeff Slingerland. As well as, did I get that right, Jace? As well as the Smith and Slingerland extended families. Other distinguished guests attending virtually, Katie's sister, Mrs. Maggie Keithley, and brother and sister-in-law, Lieutenant Colonel Caleb and Sarah Hope Morris. Jason's brother and sister-in-law, Mr. Joe and Amy Slingerland, and a handful of extended family members as well. We also welcome all of our other community friends for watching virtually to share in this special occasion. Thank you all. At this time, please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Scott Kennis and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
I was told I'm not allowed to say Roll Tide, so I will not say Roll Tide before. Hey, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Let's pray. God, what a privilege it is to be alive today. And it is fitting that we begin this promotion ceremony by invoking your presence as we celebrate with Jayson, Katie, and Jace Slingerland. Lord, the accomplishments of this family reflect the ambition to be exceptional, and their efforts have been underpinned by integrity, a commitment to others, a love of family and country. Team Slingerland, I pray that you will not grow tired in looking to the Lord for strength and wisdom, and that humility will continue to cradle your success and sharpen your pursuit of excellence. May God continue to use you strategically in the Army, that it might be more excellent and more lethal. God's grace and peace be with you. Lord, be with our instructor pilots and students at this very hour. Grant them a safe landing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our host for today's ceremony, Major General McCurry.
Wow, I think I had like 5,000 hugs between the door and here. It was great. That doesn't happen at Army Futures Command. Good afternoon. I can't tell you how good it is to be back here at this pantheon of aviation heroes. Our monument to all those who went before us, who paved the way, and on whose shoulders we stand. Back at the home of Army Aviation and back in our beloved Wiregrass. Thanks for having me. Special thanks to the Commanding General and the 18th Aviation Branch Chief, my great friend Claire Gill, for allowing me to come back and participate in this event. Protocol, Leanne, the team, thanks for all the work taking care of me over the years and setting this event up. Jake and Mallory, thanks for your special roles here today. General Gill, General COL, fellow officers, non-commissioned officers, soldiers, friends and family of Army Aviation, distinguished guests, thanks for attending the pinning of CW4 Jayson Slingerland, which he graciously allowed Katie to join. Seriously, I think you know that the McCurrys are all about family, and we are here today to recognize and celebrate one of the finest examples of Army families that I know. I am honored to be a part of it and help them celebrate. More about Team Slingerland in just a moment, but speaking of families, I want to recognize again the extended family members who are here. You know, the parents, the Jay and Debbie Slingerland, Michael and Cindy Morris, sister Maggie online, brother-in-law, U.S. Coast Guard Chief Eric Keithley, who I believe is deployed somewhere right now, grandmother, Miss Virginia Falabella, brother Jeff Slingerland, brother and sister-in-law Joe and Amy Slingerland, and special guests coming in just for the day, Lieutenant Colonel Caleb, U.S. Air Force Reserve, and Sarah Hope Morris with Henry and Emmett in tow. Thanks for the surprise earlier today. Also, thanks to the aunts and uncles that are here with us and the legion of admirers present and online for these two fantastic officers. I start with re-recognition of the family for two reasons. First, everything starts and ends with family. And second, there is an incredible commitment to service in this family. To Michael and Cindy and Jay and Debbie, a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for raising your families with such commitment to good, to doing what's right, to caring about other people, and for building the desire and commitment in both of these great Americans to serve others and serve our nation. Thanks to the brothers and sisters and in-laws for not killing them while they were growing up, and for all you do to support them in their careers. I also want to thank Jace and all military kids everywhere. Our kids are the real heroes. They don't have a choice. They were born into this. They're dragged to mandatory event after mandatory event. They move at very inopportune times, switching schools and friend groups, and they endure when mom and or dad is deployed. Let's give a round of applause to Jace on behalf of all our military kids. You know, with family dynamics, things have changed in the Army. When my dad and father-in-law were in, and even early in my own career, we had a singular family model. You know, the males went to soldier and the families handled everything else. Today, our Army families and our nation have adapted. In my own family, I have two daughters currently serving, one of whom was in Katie's battalion when she was a commander. I can't tell you the immense comfort it gives a father to have a role model like Katie Slingerland for a young daughter serving in the combat arms. One of my daughter's families has a stay-at-home dad, and the other is dual military, like the Slingerlands. This doesn't mean anything has gotten easier. If anything, it's harder. Dual military is hard. Am I right? Frequently, we see one partner sacrifice their dreams and leave the service so the other can stay. And that's a striking thing about Katie and Jayson. Team Slingerland makes each other better. They have endured and will continue to persevere. On any team, we have to first understand the players. Jayson enlisted in 2006 and first served as a 15 Tango UH-60 maintainer and crew chief. He actually served under the command of our legendary Colonel Retired Bob Dewar, our DTCG. He deployed 3 times to Iraq, including serving as the crew chief for Generals Odierno and Austin. And knowing all 3 of them, I estimate their combined height at somewhere around 27 feet. Jayson, Mallory, and I are just thankful that you included the little people in the ceremony today. During his service as a crew chief, Jayson reached the rank of non-commissioned officer, a staff sergeant, when he was accepted to flight school in December of 2010. He has not slowed down. I always say the non-commissioned officers are the backbone of the Army, and the Warrant Officer Corps is the lifeblood of Army aviation. Jayson has done both. His dedication to technical excellence, standards, and mission accomplishment are visible to all, and his work ethic and drive are well known. Whether at then Fort Hood, in Germany, Iraq, or here, he excelled. When my brother CG up the road at Fort Moore needed a little assistance with UH-60 readiness to support the Rangers, Jayson volunteered to go. Time and time again, he made the trip to improve another team, the team next door, the team that Army aviation lives to serve. Jayson, I'm grateful for all you have done and what you will continue to do in your new capacity for Army aviation and our great soldiers. What can I say about Katie? She commissioned into Army aviation from ROTC in 2004, and her reputation as a leader has grown continually ever since. She's commanded at every level from platoon through battalion and has led soldiers and families so well that we are here today recognizing her potential to lead at the next level and beyond. You see, that's what we do in the Army. While past performance is a necessary and key indicator, it is insufficient. To serve at the next level, especially as a full colonel in the United States Army, you have to have a broader, more strategic set of attributes. Katie has them in spades. From an early age, aviation senior leaders recognize this. I joked when describing her one time that Katie has more time in the front door and front office of Army aviation than anyone but our beloved Lieutenant General Ellis Parker. This is because her future potential was recognized so early that she was selected as the aide-de-camp to the commanding general. I'm pretty sure Lieutenant General retired Tony Crutchfield is online, and sir, thank you for doing that. Aides have 2 roles. First, to smooth the way for their general, but more importantly, to observe and learn in preparation for their future responsibilities of leadership. Following her time as the aide, we fast-tracked her through key and developmental major assignments in Savannah, Georgia, working for another legendary team in Army aviation, Team Brome, right back here in the 4th row. We did this, and once again, she was chosen to serve another senior leader. I guess you can call the President of the United States a senior leader. This time, she served in the White House as Presidential Operations Coordinator. She then served as an observer controller team chief in Brigade S3 before taking battalion command of the largest battalion in Army aviation. It is not surprising that Katie spent so much time in jobs where she was making others excel. As an aide, as the president's coordinator, as an OC, she's the consummate coach, the consummate team builder, and makes everyone else better. In one poignant example, I watched her stabilize a fellow battalion commander and his team on their worst day when one of their soldiers was killed. Katie is blessed with a magnetic personality, the natural confidence and charisma of a leader. She is the best team player I have observed in 38 years in the Army. and she anticipates what needs to be done before it's actually needed. Sometimes it's a decorated bullhorn showing up to motivate everyone at PT. Sometimes it's a caring word. In my case, a word of caution when the CG dove for a Frisbee and dislocated his shoulder. That is why when she completed battalion command, I chose to make her the XO to the commanding general. I created the position for her because she was tailor-made for the position. She defined the role, helping the staff and the chief of staff decipher my rapid-fire guidance as I kept telling them we could always do more. But more importantly, I wanted to keep Team Slingerland together in one place as long as possible. It's hard enough to manage 2 careers in the military, all while raising an energetic and inquisitive young man. We could make it easier for all concerned. Little did I know that she would make it easier for me. Outside my own family, Katie is the closest person that I've ever had inside my professional life. Her intuition and perceptiveness are unmatched. Whatever was coming my way as the CG, she was there. A sounding board, an advisor, and always an advocate for all. Whether at the office or the quarters for events, she was a part of our family, and by extension, Jason and Jace as well. My wife Sadie says, Katie puts everyone at ease, and when you first meet her, you feel like you've known her all your life. She opens her home with perfect Christian hospitality and lights up every room she enters while maintaining her strength, her professionalism, and her class. My 13-year-old daughter Maggie says she's like the cool aunt who sneaks you snacks and gives you the warmest hugs even if she just saw you an hour ago. So today, we come full circle. First, we have the team captain, the boss everybody wants to work for. Katie was meant to lead, and we have Jason, the most valuable player. He was meant to just get things done, even if it's replacing the lapboard in the bathroom or the wallpaper on the night before an event at their house. Together, they were meant to take care of soldiers and families and to serve our nation. We are grateful for them. Team Slingerland, I am absolutely honored to stand alongside you today and thrilled for our soldiers and families that you will both be serving well into the future. This will defend above the best, Fly Army.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Slingerland and CW4 Slingerland, as well as family, please join Major General McCurry up front. Everyone else, please remain seated. Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Army, has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, and fidelity of Lieutenant Colonel Catherine J. Slingerland. In view of these qualities and her demonstrated potential to serve in the next higher grade, Lieutenant Colonel Catherine J. Slingerland is promoted to the grade of Colonel, United States Army, effective the first day of January 2025, by order of the Secretary of the Army. And for Jayson, because CW3 Slingerland will be on an unaccompanied tour to Honduras, we will now observe a pinning ceremony so the family can share in this momentous occasion, as CW3's Slingerland's effective date will be 1 February 2025. Yeah. Jayson says here the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Wow. Major General McCurry will now administer the oath of office for Jayson and Katie.
We're about to recite the oath. What's different and important about the oath in the United States Army for our officers is we ascribe an oath to an idea, a set of principles embodied in our Constitution. We're the only country in the world that does that. All other countries subscribe an oath to a president or a king or a parliament or something. We ascribe to a set of ideas in our Constitution. That's why this is so important. So the reason I switched places with them is they're going to raise their right hands in just a minute. Joe McCarthy did this a few months ago with me, so he knows it. They're going to touch the flag as a visible symbol of that set of ideas while they raise their right hand. And we're going to recite the oath together. Okay? You ready? I state your name.
I, Jayson Slingerland,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
to bear true faith
to bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office I'm about to enter.
of the office I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now present the Order of St. Michael to CW4 Jayson Slingerland. Appearing before a most arduous and discriminatory committee of tried and proven Army aviators and aviation patriots, be it known that CW4 Jayson Slingerland was tested and found worthy of special recognition for outstanding contributions to the community of Army aviation and is hereby inducted into the Honorable Order of St. Michael. The Archangel St. Michael is the embodiment of courage, justice, and gallantry. So too the aforementioned individual embodies these qualities and represents excellence in aviation. Therefore, the President of the Army Aviation Association of America acknowledges that this patriot is due special honor and respect for now and posterity. Given under his hand this 4th day of January, Marcus A. Gangler, President, Army Aviation Association of America. Congratulations, CW4 Slingerland. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you Colonel Catherine J. Slingerland.
My goodness, I'm just Thank you for coming. General Gill was picking on me a little bit and doesn't ever really see me get nervous, but he's like, "You're nervous." I said, "Yes, sir, I am." General McCurry, General Gill, Mr. Doerr, General Cole, distinguished guests, my Smith and Slingerland families, my tribe, my village, and each of you, thank you for coming. I know most of you are here to see Jayson, my better half, or you heard Miss Christy Parker made the cakes. But either way, we're so humbled you took time out of your busy schedules to be here for our special day. I promise to try and make this quick because General McCurry has a plane to catch, but I need to thank a few people first. First and foremost, all glory to Jesus. He's blessed our lives with each of you being in it, and I can tell you, when you put him first, and when you honor him, he's going to honor you. Nothing in this world is more important than knowing Jesus. Jayson, thank you for being my rock, for always listening to me, giving me sound advice, and holding down the fort. Being a dual military couple isn't always easy, but you've been the best teammate and hubs a girl could ask for. You put up with my nonsense, my extroverted love for people, hosting parties, my wild ideas of trying to rehab the dead plants at Lowe's. I'm terrible, y'all. And house projects like wallpapering a powder room at 11 o'clock at night. I love you and appreciate you more than you know. More importantly, thank you for leading Jace and I. Jace, thank you for letting Mommy and Daddy continue to serve. You didn't sign up for this, but you're a trooper, and we're so proud of you. You and I are going to have lots of adventures and lots of ice cream when Daddy goes to Honduras. I love you, Peanut. There's so many of you here that I need to thank, but I need to start off with Colonel Jake Whiteside. He was my cadet battalion commander at Carson Newman College, and I wouldn't be standing here if you wouldn't have taught me to ruck march at 4:30 in the morning through the Tennessee hills, and you demonstrated leadership and what it takes to be in this uniform. You have a true heart for soldiers, and we're so blessed to know you. I think I can speak for Lieutenant Colonel retired Kyle and Caitlin Eldridge, who were both cadets under his tutelage, by saying thank you for investing in our lives and for all you've done for our Army. You and Marcy are an inspiration to us all. Major General McCurry, sir, you need to write a book. I don't know where you came up with that stuff about me, but man, I'm sorry. I didn't make Colonel to call you man. I'm really sorry about that. Whew. Sorry. You can lock it up, kid. Okay, so we call him Taylor Swift. We'll get into that. Sir, thank you so much for coming so far. You and Lieutenant Colonel Hugo, we appreciate it. For the kind words and really for believing in me. You and Sadie took me under your wing and gave me a chance to be your XO. I learned more about the Army and decision making than I ever thought was possible. I learned you literally know every single person in the Army. You walk like a feral cheetah, faster than any human on the planet, and you can still outrun most 20-year-olds while maintaining a healthy diet of Mountain Dew and onion rings. And Captain Record and Mrs. Smith can attest to this. So can Sergeant Harris, as he's had to make them daily. Thank you for all the memories, adventures, and for most of all showing me day in and day out the importance of taking care of our soldiers, our branch, and our Army. It was an honor to work with you and Sadie, and I'll be forever grateful. Please know you will always have a place at the Sling Blade campfire. General Gill, sir, not man. Thank you for not firing me, at least yet. Thank you for listening to my wild ideas, politely nodding, and then steering me back into reality. You sort of inherited me, and I don't believe you imagined being the branch chief would include an XO who asks you at least twice a week to wear a costume to ride arm nights, who planned 3 straight months of TDY or told you that burpees were fun and good for you. It's been a privilege to be on the team, to have a front row seat watching on how you are shaping the branch, and I'm so grateful to you and Dr. Fram. To my mom and dad, thank you for setting an example of Jesus. Thank you for raising us to know the Lord and to walk with him. Thank you for letting us make mistakes and for always loving Maggie, Caleb, and I. Even though Caleb thinks he's the most mature, he's not. Caleb, I'm so grateful that you, Sarah, Hope, Henry, and Emmett were able to surprise us this morning. And Maggie, thank you for watching online. I want you both to know that today, and probably only for today, as the middle child, like my Uncle John, we are Mom's favorite. I love you guys to the moon and back. To my in-laws, thank you for always being willing to lend a hand. Debbie, you've become a second mom to me. And thank you for loving us and supporting our careers. You two have been such a blessing in our lives, and we love you. To my Big Smith family, you set the bar high and showed me what it meant to serve at a young age. So many of you signed the dotted line and served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. My great-uncle Hugh Cate was a Huey pilot who survived 3 tours in Vietnam. He was such an inspiration to me, and I know he's smiling down on us right now. Each of you means so much to me, and we're glad you could come. To my Slingerland family, thank you for coming so far and for always loving and supporting Jason, and I. We love each of you and are glad you're here. There's a lot of people that helped or more like carried me to where I am today. My field grade days started in 3rd Cab in an Apache battalion. I knew my career was over when that happened because I was a fish out of water. Colonel John and Julie Brome, after all these years, you'd think I'd get it right. Thank you for being the best battalion command team. You both took a chance on Colonel Keefe and I, and look how we turned out. Colonel Keefe, I guess I can say Sean again now. Thank you for being the best battle buddy. You and Melissa are some of our favorites. We were lucky to be on the team of some of the greats. Command Sergeant Major Chris and Danielle Doss, you guys were in 3rd Cab with us, and thank you for all you taught me, for the wisdom, for the guidance and support. Colonel Clint and Kim Cody, thank you for the mentorship, for the laughs, and for admitting Blackhawks are superior. He was my Brigade S3, so I don't know if he's here, but I like to remind him of that. There he is, hiding by a Huey. Colonel Josh and Anita Ruiz Sanchez, you both wrapped your arms around me when we showed up at the White House. I will never forget when Colonel Ruiz Sanchez rescued me after I accidentally went through the vice president's entrance on my first day at the job. Red carpet rolled out, and I thought they were so welcoming. Little did I know that was not for me. You taught me so much, and I've truly valued our friendship throughout the years. To my 1st to 145th Old Warriors, thank you for being the best battalion command team ever. Command Sergeant Major James and Emily Finney, you guys just need to go ahead and rejoin the Army. Go shave that beard off. You still have some fight left. Thank you for being some fantastic battle buddies. La Familia, the Iglesias family. You guys mean the world to us. Thank you doesn't cover it. We can't wait for you to get home, Luis. And I look forward to seeing you on the CCWO list. To each of my company commanders, Majors Barakowski, Lambert, Hayes, and Lane, thank you for making my job easy. I wouldn't be here without you. To each of my NCOs and soldiers, you will always have a special place in my heart, and I will forever be an old warrior. To Colonel Rich and Stephanie Tucker, thank you for trusting me, for always taking my calls with ridiculous questions, for my bombs dropped at 6 o'clock at night on a Friday, and for making command fun. Sir, thank you for setting me up for success, and more importantly, for being a friend. We love you, Steph, and the girls, and look forward to seeing what the future brings. To my fellow battalion commanders, thank you for the support, the constant jokes, and for keeping me straight. I love reading the text thread every day and seeing what you're up to. Each of you are amazing. Keep up the hustle. To my tribe, Kylan, Holly, Amy, Tina, Christy, and Cindy, I love you, girls. You never fail to support, pray, laugh, cry, and love me. You're always up for an adventure, traveling to foreign countries, and I'm so grateful to call you friends. To my work besties, you guys make me laugh every day. Leanne, Emily, Andrea, Riley, Mallory, Natalie, and Missy, thank you. You turn the worst days into the best. Emily Mallory and Staff Sergeant Harris, you guys do more for the branch in our Army than you get credit for. You're a joy to work with, and I know I would not be standing here if it weren't for you guys. To the protocol team, thank you for making today happen. The volume of chaos you juggle on a daily basis never ceases to amaze me. To Bev and Mr. Yon, you two are the epitome of servant leadership. You remind me daily of what hard work looks like and what going the extra mile means. Thank you for coming and for all you do. Today, my great Aunt Louise would have been 109 years old. And one of the greatest things she ever said to me was, "Katie, I hope you have a heck of a time." The Army ride can be bumpy, and sometimes, as my sister Maggie reminded me this morning, it's a lot like the Karate Kid. Sometimes you have to paint the fence, wax on, wax off, get good at the basics before you can go do the big move. It can be mundane, at times thrilling, and sometimes crazy, but it has been a heck of a time. And I'm truly grateful for each of you making my career wonderful. To each and every person I've served with and those here today, thank you. You've enriched my life more than you will ever know. All the love and blessings to each of you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, defying all laws of logic and aircraft weight and balance, I present to you CW4 Jayson Slingerland. It's in the script. I can't. Jayson Slingerland.
Pull out my piece of paper that I have here. I know Katie had this big long thing. I just got a couple notes. So I know people have things to do. Katie's promotion's over, so if you guys want to go ahead and just leave. And if my family wants to stay here to see the rest of the promotion, then here we go. So I really did not think that this was going to be this big of an ordeal. And this is probably the largest crowd I've ever spoken in front of. Thank you for that over there in the commentary. I can see it on my peripherals. So let me just start with the three F's, faith. Papa Moose. Thank you for everything, leading me to the Lord. I really appreciate it and everything you've done. For those who don't know, the Papa Moose, before our wedding, he baptized me in the ocean in Charleston. So he's done a lot, and I really appreciate that. I give all the grace to God, and I wouldn't be here without it. The second one's family. Some of the people in the back row, they were at my last promotion when I made the CW3. Colonel Whiteside was there. As a buffoon like I am, I left out my family, and I didn't thank my family. I thanked everybody that was there because I got nervous the same way I am right now, and I forgot to thank my wife and son. So, after every other promotion or ceremony that I've been to, and I hear people, they always wait to the end, save the best for last. I'm sorry if I'm talking too loud or volume down. But I firmly believe that I should put my family first in everything I do. So, babe, Jace, thank you for everything. It's going to be really tough. We told Jace about Honduras, and it wasn't fun. So I'm going to miss you guys so much. To my family, thank you all for coming. Jeff, making that long effort to come down here. Mom and Dad, thank you for everything you've done in life and just leading us and being there for us everywhere, every step of the way and while we're gone. My mom, Lord knows, we wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much for everything you do. Frankie, Nick, Dorothy, just thank you guys. Caleb and the surprise. My extended Smith family, just thank you so much for adopting me, even though you don't like me. Go Gators. I'm the lone Gator fan. So the last F is going to be friends. Everybody in here, I know we joke about it, but I feel like you guys have adopted me with the likes of Katie. You really don't have a chance or a choice, but there are people in this audience that have been there from when I made W1. My family pinned me on this, I think it was over there actually, in this very place. The three of them were there and pinned me when I made W1. Made W2, Matt McGuffey's in the audience. Sergeant Major Coley was there. We were in Afghanistan when I pinned W2. W3, there were Ashley Howard now, was my commander there. And Colonel Whiteside, I flew him in from Kansas to come do my promotion. I just can't appreciate express the gratitude that for this showing from you guys. So I just thank you so much. Colonel Bob Dewar and Colonel Mike Bentley, you guys were there, and Brett Babin I just saw in the back of this. We were all in Iraq together in Germany. Colonel Dewar, or Mr. Bob Dewar, sorry now, was the last person I saw before I left Germany to go to flight school in front of Burger King, and I saluted him. And it's just one of those memories. It's just, you're that impactful. Our son looks at you like a grandfather, so just thank you for everything you guys have done. So with that, I'll bid you adieu. Thank you so much.
Please stand at this time and join in singing of the Aviation and Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Colonel and CW4 Slingerland and their family will be offering small refreshments in the back of the museum immediately following the ceremony. At this time, you are cordially invited to congratulate Colonel and CW4 Slingerland. We appreciate your attendance.